the episode of the D Will Show. I am your host, D Will, and I'm back at it. This is season three. Um, Thank you guys for everybody that's been supporting me through season one, season two, season three. We on the bigger and better things. Looking for ways to improve the pod. So we're gonna go from there. Um, be sure to follow me on Instagram at dwillow at DWILLOOO. Also to subscribe to the YouTube channel, the D Will Show. Also follow wherever you get your podcasts at Spotify, Apple, Google. Give us a 5-star and stay up to date with any upcoming episodes. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor for this episode, 27 Horizon, connecting your business to new horizons. Contact 27 Horizon for all of your creative design needs and book them today to make your event one to remember with any DJ or photo services. DM 27 Horizon for more info. But today, I got a good one for y'all. Finally got it done. I got a former Whitney Young star, there's a state champ, former CSU Bakersfield star, a coach, my dog, K Pearson. KP, what up, Brody? How you feeling?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm chilling. How you? Thank you for having
No, for sure, for sure. Definitely made it happen. Things
me.
got kind
Yeah,
of crazy, but we
yeah,
finally made it happen for sure.
yeah.
From the beginning, Brody, for those that may be tapping in, it's not really too familiar, with your story. Just take us through, where you from and your upbringing a little bit, and then we'll go from there.
South side of Chicago, 77 from Paulina to be exact. Grew up there. Spent majority of my life there. Um, for high school, went to Whitney Young, Whitney Young. All the haters out there, you know. But no, went to Whitney Young. 4 years there. Won a state championship in the 08-09 year. Um, Played in a couple state championships. Lost one time. 2011, I think we finished the season second to Brooks. Lost in the city championship. Um, but yeah, after that, I went to Cal State Bakersfield. Played for Rob Barnes. I was the only freshman on the team, only freshman recruited. Um, didn't stay long there. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot from Rob Barnes. I learned a lot from my coaching staff. I learned a lot from the older players. Just because from Chicago, we think we just gonna fit in anywhere. Um, Especially us point guards, we think we tough. We can hang with anybody, but it's another level at the Division One level.
Yeah,
You could, what I'm saying, it's bigger than just being able to hoop. You got to be able to, be coachable, run plays. It's your work ethic. Learning how to, being you got class at 9, you waking up at 5:30 for weights, you got weights and you got conditioning, you got individuals, you getting your own shots up, you got practice, you got study hall, and that's
yeah,
every day,
yeah.
um and my grades was fine and everything, but after the season I decided to go. This is before the portal. I wish it was the portal when I was in school, but this is before the portal. I transferred to Mobley. It was a junior college. Had a good season there. Played through a lot of injuries at Mobley, but ended up playing for another Hall of Fame coach, and Pat Smith. He was inducted into the Junior College Hall of Fame in 2019. Um, Love Coach Smith. Coach Smith really believed in me, let me play, um, taught me a lot. Um, Shout out to him. I still talk to him to this day. When Mobley comes to Chicago or anywhere near, I go check out the games. He was the first one to congratulate me when I took the Olive Harvey assistant coach job last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I learned a lot there, but unfortunately, I tore my Achilles
Mm.
ending my sophomore season, and that was a bad week. I tore my Achilles and I lost every offer, because for the kids that don't know now, before the transfer portal, it's either you were going to sit out a year if you transferred, or you had to go JUCO to get re-recruited. So I chose to play to show people I was still nice and everything, and just show my worth. Um, but that ended pretty bad for me after I tore my Achilles. Like right as the season ended, we had a good season. We were top 25 and everything. Had a good season. But lost every single college offer I had after that because I was going to be an incoming junior.
Hmm.
And but the Achilles, that's the death sentence, at that time.
Yeah.
At that time. Like medicine has improved now, but at that time it was the death sentence. So nobody really want to take that chance at the time. I was about to sign to Iona, like literally like the next day. I was about to sign to
Mm.
Iona the next day. Yeah. So, but after that, ended up graduating. I went to West Virginia after that. I went and graduated, just got my bachelor's degree in multidisciplinary studies. Um,
Cool, bro.
yeah, so went there. I've been in financial services for the past 9 years now. I've been in
Yeah,
financial services for past 9 years. I also mentor kids at Finger High School um, for the Youth Advocate Program. But yeah, I've been coaching too. So I've started coaching last year at Olive Harvey.
yeah.
So yeah,
KP, take us through, kind of like what was like the household like for you? Like who was the one that kind of put the ball in your hand, or
my
was it?
dad, my
Yeah.
dad, hands
Okay.
down, like my dad. Like
Yeah.
I what's crazy was basketball really wasn't my first sport. Football was my first sport.
Okay.
I fell in love with football, but basketball, my dad put everything in my hand, the football, the basketball, and I gravitated towards both. Um, but yeah, my dad was anyone that know my dad, he was intense. You know what I'm saying? It was intense. Like because once I told him like I was serious, he held me to that.
Yeah.
Um,
So your
uh,
pops was an athlete too, I'm expecting.
my dad hooped for sure. My dad hooped in high school, hooped in college a little bit. But once I told him I was serious, and then I think like once he got that glimpse, like, oh no, my
Yeah.
son, nice for real. Like it's
Yeah.
not just
It was a
it
wrap.
became, yeah, like not like me understanding now, like because I have a 1 year old, like
Hmm.
me being a father, I get it now. It's like once you see, like, okay, all right. So he was trying to put me in the best position possible. I stayed in the gym. I hooped a lot. I worked out and stuff, but we played. We
Yeah.
played like that was still around the time where we would, would go to different gyms throughout the city. And this is before, like, now kids have a mixtape. Don't be doing nothing on them tapes, man. But it's like back then, you have to like be nice to someone to give you a mixtape, and for you to
Sure.
have the audacity to even have a mixtape, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have to like I didn't ask for. I think my first tape was high school. Dan Poneman. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Shout
Yeah.
out Dan P. That's my man. But yeah, like it wasn't just everybody was getting mixtapes and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. But my dad put the ball in my hand. And he held me to it. Like he held me to it, held me accountable.
What led to the choice of you picking hooping over playing football? Like what made you was like, okay, through high school, after that, this is what I want to do. Like what led to the choice of that?
You know what? Honestly, I regret that. I
Word.
regret not picking over football, but playing football too. I
Hmm.
think I should have done both because I was probably more talented in football. Football came natural.
Mm.
Um, but to once I went to Whitney Young wasn't known for football at that time, and
Hmm.
our football program wasn't highly touted like our basketball program is. And the immature thinking of me, I was like, man, we don't got no line, and I'm pretty sure I was gonna play running back and wide receiver, and and play DB too. Like I was playing both sides of the ball, but I was like, man, am I gonna be hurt for the basketball season? And so that was like my immature way of thinking. I regret that though, man. I regret that. Watching all the college football with my son yesterday, I was sitting there thinking about that, like, man, I just playing football, but
Your
that's
career.
what it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it was. I was just thinking like basketball. Whitney was a basketball school, and I wanted to be ready for the basketball season. And Whitney Young was known for having a ton of good guards, and I really just kind of shift my focus to only focus on basketball.
For sure.
Um, I think I could have went to any other school in the city and played, but Whitney Young was like that was a challenge,
Fact.
academically and athletically. That was a challenge. Like you really had to prove yourself every day for 4 years. Like that was like it was like college before college. I feel like I went to college twice.
Facts.
I feel like academically, one of the best in the city, always top three in the city, really in the state for real.
Yeah.
But and then on the basketball court, there's always a who's of players in every class. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get the top three to top four guards every class, and not just point guards though, wings, and then
Everybody.
as time went on, our bigs was handling. You know what I'm saying? Like Tommy Hamilton and all that. Like our
Yeah.
bigs could handle it. So it was like it was competitive. And I
Right.
felt like I needed to be for real locked in. At that time, like I said, thinking, I was like, man, I ain't really got time to be playing football and all of that. Like, if I'm going to
Yeah.
really try to compete for some minutes and to win, because we were already sacrificing our individual careers to go there
Yeah.
because it was so many. We had like every year, we had like 10 to 12 Division 1 athletes every year, all on one team, like every single year. It was no, like, we were always number one, number two in the state, and
Mm-hmm.
then we had a we had a national schedule. Like, it got to the point like we had tutors on the road with us, like college. Like, we played out the state so much, it was literally just like college. It was just like college. Like, from the Oak Hills to Mater Days to everybody, you name it, we played them, man. We didn't duck nothing. We didn't duck anybody. We ain't duck nobody. So we played in all. We went to Hawaii to play. Every city, state, like, we was there. Every top tournament, we was there. So
Fact.
yeah, so if we really wanted to just, like, play all the local games and go 30-0 or 30-2 or whatever a good season is in high school, yeah, we could have done that. But we was going to play. I mean, a lot of guys we playing are still in the league to this day. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Top.
So but that made us better. Like, the year we won state in '08, we wasn't really having a great season, honestly. All right, because yeah, in state we were great. We was, what I'm saying, we was doing everything. In the city, in the state, we was played in Red West. We was the ones for sure. But uh when you go out of state and you playing against lottery picks, the Marcus Cousins, man, everybody, like, the list goes on, man. I'd be here literally listing people all day if we how many lottery picks or how many first round guys we played. So that got us ready though, because once we saw, like, man, there's people for real out here, and
Yeah.
so once we got back to the city, yeah, we stood on business.
Man.
We stood on business. Yeah, we definitely stood on
AP, what?
business.
Let me ask you this: what led to the choice of you going to Whitney Young? Like you said, because we can't anybody just go to Whitney Young. Like you got to get accepted.
Nah,
You got to
yeah. So
have GPA or everything about you. What led to you going to Whitney Young? Was it? I know you spoke on academics. I read that you had like a 3.3 GPA or something like that. Or
yeah, yeah.
uh,
So
what led to you
what
going?
led what led to me going to Whitney Young was, I mean, I wanted to go there because, first of all, I just liked the school.
Yeah,
Like, I liked the school. Like, when I went to school and then I played, in eighth grade, that was like Whitney Young's one of the best gyms in the city. You know what I'm saying? For all the events, that's why we always have Shy League, and every other big event happens at Whitney Young for the most part. So I just liked the gym at first, and then I liked the school, and I played like two All Star games there for eighth grade All Star games, and then it was like it was welcoming. It's like then I was
felt at home.
Coach Ty and everything. So Coach Ty was welcoming, and Dr. Kenner. And then my parents ain't played it. It wasn't no basketball if my grades weren't right. It wasn't. I wasn't one of them kids. Like,
Yeah,
if I got a C or something, no, I had to go sit down. Like, it wasn't no basketball. It's punishment. So my grades was right. And then I wanted to go there, and all the I saw the class before me. Amar, Anthony Johnson,
mm,
uh, man, a lot of Greg Tucker. Rest in peace, Greg Tucker. Like, it was a lot of players there, and some players that don't even get talked about to this day that were just, like, really good. And I wanted to go compete.
yeah,
And I thought, because I felt at the time, like, I thought I was the nicest guard in my class coming into uh coming into Whitney Young. It was Ryan Boatwright and all that. Our Boat is great, you know what I'm saying, but we competitive. So I was like, I thought it was me.
mm-hmm.
So a lot of good guards in our class, and I felt like I was the cream of the crop, and I felt like the cream of the crop went to Whitney.
Facts.
And but I was, to like, a little fun fact though. I was enrolled in Mark Carmel. I was enrolled in Mark Carmel. Like, I didn't find out. I didn't find out I was going to Whitney Young until I played the uh what All Star game was it?
Mm,
It was eighth grade All Star game. I can't think of the name of it right now, but maybe it was a city suburb All Star game, whatever. I forgot what it was, but once they announced me in the starting lineup, it said going to Whitney Young. I was like,
threw you for a loop.
that's I no, I didn't know. I was enrolled. You have to understand, like,
Yeah.
My dad, I was enrolled. I was enrolled in Mark Carmel. I had my classes and everything. Like I was enrolled in Mark Carmel. Like one of my best friends, my dog, you know what I'm saying? Tracy Abrams, Adonis Violet, like those my homies. Like we played AAU together coming up. So like we was all going, you know. I didn't necessarily want to go to all boys school at that time,
Yeah.
but listening to my dad, and my dad was telling me like, that like I said, I was a two sport athlete. So
Mm-hmm.
Mark Carmel was always top in football. So he was like, man, you got that, you got the football, and you could play. And then Coach Flaherty at the time, Coach Flaherty and Coach Jackson at Mark Carmel, they were telling me like, man, you gonna start on varsity as a freshman. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was looking like. And Coach Flaherty was a great guy. Coach Jackson was a great guy. But at that time, Whitney Young was just Whitney Young to me,
Mm-hmm.
and because I was sold. I was sold. Like I was sold. So I was enrolled in Mark Carmel. You know what I'm saying? So it would have been me, Tracy, Adonis at Mark Carmel for the 2011 class. Then, you know what I'm saying, Malcolm Hillbay coming after that in 2012. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they already had the seniors there. They were a good team. They were
Yeah.
a good team. They actually, Mark Carmel actually beat Whitney Young my freshman year in 2011. They beat us. They beat us in the state playoffs.
Do you
But
ever think back and look at it like, damn, what it would have been if I would have went there? You know what I mean?
I do, cause Tracy my man, so so I'll chop it up with Tracy.
Yeah.
Tracy got put into the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? They I was
Tracy.
there. They
Yeah.
did the ceremony, putting the jersey up and everything, and I think about it on some individual stats.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone at Whitney Young, we sacrifice individually. Like out of a varsity quarter is what 8 minutes. The game's
Yep.
only 32 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, like nobody really played more than probably 16 to 17 minutes. Like
Mm.
nobody. Like that was just how it was. It was for
Like you
real.
said,
Like
you had 10 to 12 D1 athletes, so you got
yeah,
to.
like yeah. And I'm not saying Division 1 talent. I'm talking
Yeah.
about no. We really went Division 1. All of us, everyone. Like guys who didn't play at all went Division 1. Like I'm not making this up. Like walked on Division 1, or they had even if they walked on Division 1, we had guys that were NAIA All Americans. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Everyone was good. Or like we had people that the ones that didn't go Division 1, it's not because they didn't have Division 1 offers. They were just so smart academically they would go to like University of Chicago and major in economics and stuff like that. You know
Walk
what I'm
on.
saying?
Yeah.
So the ones that I speak of when I say like went Division 1, I'm not even counting the ones that had offers that just decided like, you know what, I'm gonna just go the academic route,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, though, that was I definitely think about it though. I definitely think about it. I always like, maybe could have been all state 4 years, or could have
Mm-hmm.
been, leading in assists and having a lot of points, and like just having a bunch of individual success. But that was I once I decided I want to go to Whitney Young, I kind of gave up the
Yeah.
eyes and got to use in the weeds, So
Thanks. What was that conversation like when you talked to coach, going to Whitney on, like I said, obviously, you want the hoop, knowing the history before you at Whitney on, and like you just said, all the guys that was coming in there with you.
mhm.
How was that whole transition going into Whitney Young? Like you said, that's a top tier school. Not everybody get into Whitney Young. So what was your whole mindset on when you were really getting established in the Whitney Young?
um like you had to be ready. Like I had to like it was a lot of hours in the gym.
Yeah,
It was a lot of hours in the gym, and it wasn't just basketball. Like I was doing strength training early. Like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Like I was doing strength training with Lauren Jackson. He's out there, Florida now, but I was doing a lot of strength training. Um, I just had to be ready. Like it was a different. I had to get my mindset. Like it wasn't just on the court. I had to get my mind ready. I had to get my body ready because I understand. Like I was gonna be competing every day. Like starting point guard when I was coming into coming into Whitney Young was AJ Romson. AJ Romson was AJ
Dog.
Romson probably to this day is probably one of the toughest guards I played against. Like I remember, like fun little story, man. Like the first time I played AJ Romson, I'll never forget this. It's open gym. 14 years old. I'm coming in. AJ is zoom, zoom, zoom. AJ is
Yeah.
fast. You know what I'm saying? He was fast. Um, I slept. I mean, we had open gym at like 12. I got home at like 3:30. I slept to the next day. Like I got home, like I slept from like probably 4 to the next day. I was so tired. You gotta understand because I'm playing. Yeah, we playing high level AAU, but it's high level still 8th grade. You know what I'm saying? So it's like coming in and playing AAU, but coming in to guard AJ Rumsa and
Yeah.
then switching off and guarding Ahmad and Greg Tucker and Anthony. I was tired. Like I was
Yeah.
tired. Like I slept to the next day, man. That was like my welcome to high school moment. Like, man, AJ was what, 5'8".
Hmm.
AJ was just like, you know what I'm saying? But he was super fast and he was super tough and he was a real leader. And I feel like he was like he was like the first leader I played with. He was
Hmm.
vocal and then he led by example. You know what I'm saying? Like Coach Ty obviously was over our program, but Coach Ty didn't really have to say much. Like
Yeah.
AJ Ronson was a real extension of the coach, like real point guard. So I learned a lot from AJ. Learned a lot, and so I just have to learn that, man. I just have to come in and be ready and with no days off because you'll get embarrassed.
Facts.
And when I say embarrassed, I'm not talking about just amongst your peers and like, we had a who's who of open gym. My open gym was Kentucky, Duke.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody, like whoever was the who's who school, they were in our gym, like the coaches. So you'll get embarrassed in front of them. You'll get embarrassed in front of your teammates. Let's just say a couple students coming in and all that. You'll be embarrassed, and not to
Facts.
mention your own coaches. So I wasn't going for that. I definitely wasn't gonna be getting embarrassed. So I was always gonna hold my own,
Facts. Facts.
definitely. So I cared about making a name for myself, and I cared about letting everybody know like I belong, and I'm not happy to be here. I belong here.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah.
For you, Chicago is known for, having tough guards. You know what I mean? Like that's what we
Right.
known for.
Right.
Going to Whitney Young, like I said, you playing the top talent across the world. For you, who was some of your? I know you spoke on AJ, but who was some of your like most memorable matchups where you kind of was like, okay, yeah, this is different
Man.
level. This is a different level. This is preparing us for high school and beyond.
Oh man, we have so many, and I'm gonna feel bad for if I name somebody and leave people out. But I don't know. I just gotta. First off, I'm gonna just start in our own gym, like
Hmm.
my own gym. You know what I'm saying? It was AJ Romso, it was Ahmad, it was Greg Tucker, it was Chris Colvin, Marcus Jordan. It was we had a list of guards. Like you know what I'm saying? We had a list, and like I said, I hate that I'm probably gonna forget people. Derek Randolph, you know what I'm saying? Like just it was so many guards that we played that's in my own gym
Yeah.
before we even went out to play. But you know what I'm saying? But Ryan Boatwright, it's tough. Um, Juice Brown, he don't get the accolades or the attention that he should have gotten. Like he ended up
Facts.
going to Toledo. He ended up scoring like 1,800 points or something at Toledo.
Facts.
Juice Brown was tough. Man, there's so many guards, man.
Yeah,
So many. I'm a hate that I'm missing it, but so many guards. But the toughest, the best player that I played in Illinois was probably definitely Jeremy Richardson. You know what I'm saying? Because we had them epic battles where we beat them to go to win state. They
yeah,
beat us at UIC one time. Jeremy Richmond to this day is the most like talented player that I've played against. Um, and
he
I know you said guards, but he was really a 6'8" guard. You know what I'm
fact.
saying?
He
Like
did it
I
all.
don't know what he was listed as on paper, but he was a 6'8" guard. Like he was a
Facts.
real guard. Like he can handle it and everything. So that was probably the toughest. The first time I played him, I just remember we was at Moody Bible
Mm-hmm.
in the summertime. Like this before the season. This is like, man, who the hell? I didn't know who he was. He was
Yeah.
already committed and everything because he's 2010. I'm 2011, so he was committed like to Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Man, he was so damn nice. Like it was one of those like even if he didn't score 30, which was unlikely, but you could just tell he was on another level. You know what I'm saying? So he was on another level. He's probably the best player that I've played against to this day for sure.
Facts. Facts.
Definitely.
I know you spoke
Yeah.
on that. Like you said, the type of talent that comes through Whitney Young, the type of talent that you guys play. But I want to ask you. I want to ask you about Big Job, man. Seeing him coming in.
It's my dog.
You know, did you see the talent? Did you see what he was going to be when he first got there? I know when you
I,
first when he
it
first
would have
come in.
been I would have been blind. If you don't see that, you blind. You don't know basketball, you're not paying attention or you hating. or something. Yeah, no, Josh. Josh started with us. At Whitney Young, he came in. He was a freshman when I was a senior.
Okay,
But
you got to see him.
man, yeah, I got to see him. You know what I'm saying? Go through his growing pains because people not gonna mention the people who he was going against when he came in. Tommy
Yeah.
Hamilton was already at Whitney Young. Tommy Hamilton was a 6'10" do it all. You had Jermaine Morgan there already. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
6'8" dog. You know what I'm saying? So he's having real battles in practice. Like usually at any other school, you being 6'11", 7 feet, you dominate. Don't get me wrong, he was definitely doing his thing, but
Thanks. But you don't
it
see
was
that too
coming. It
much.
was coming right back at him. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Right.
because they weren't gonna let that happen. They were, you know what I'm saying, older, uh,
Shit, they competitive too.
stronger, and just you know what I'm saying. But man, Ja was everything, man. Ja was everything. I mean, Ja, my man. I don't understand why he's not in the league today. You know what I'm saying? I understand he tore his Achilles or the season before last. He ended
Mm-hmm.
up going overseas and having a great. He had a great season overseas. But
Thanks.
man, Jaleel, man, Ja was. Whew,
Thanks. Yeah.
his hands are so big, bro. Like his
Man,
hands are so big. Like catch off the bounce, dunking everything.
he
And
calm
then
it.
it was like,
He calm it. Thinking about what he finna do. He finna.
yeah, like yeah, he
Okay.
was like, man, he was crazy. Like he was good. Now he's not was. He still is good. But at that time, we were speaking on high school, like was a man amongst boys. And that's when
Thanks.
he was 14. So we're not even talking about his
Wow.
sophomore, junior season, going through that. It was a reason why he was what, number 3 pick, number 4 pick, whatever, went to Duke. There was a
Yep.
reason. That wasn't just because he was tall. Like he was good. He was agile.
Thanks.
He ended up losing like his little small like baby fat, because he was 14. But once he got grown up and he got in shape,
Yep.
he started took that mid range serious hit. And like what's underrated about Josh is his handle. Like he had a good handle. In order for him to get to what he got to go to,
You gotta be able to
he
jump.
got he got a good handle. It's not just he's playing down the block. Like if you really watch Josh highlights, he got a nice handle. Like he was a real man. Like
Facts.
that boy's good. Yeah,
Facts.
it was good for sure.
KP, let me ask you this. I know you like say you talked about the schedule you guys had. Do you
Yeah.
have a most memorable game of your whole career? I know you guys had a lot of matchups, but do you have like a one particular game where you was like, damn, this the one. This the one.
Mm, I don't know, man. We had so many games.
Man.
Uh,
I know you said you played the Oak Hills and the Mount Verdes, like them.
yeah, we played all them.
They could be, from the shy or across the world.
Uh, Here I'm probably going to say them Red West games is crazy here. Like, yeah, we ain't have to go far. You know what I'm saying? Them North Lawndale, North Lawndale games was a lot, man.
Man,
North Lawndale definitely, but man, leaving, I'm probably gonna say maybe. Oh no, I think I remember we. I don't know. I can't even think because it's like it's so many games. There
it's
was
hard
so
to think
many
of
games. We played McAdoo my senior year. He ended up going to North Carolina.
James Mac.
Um, yeah, he was tough. We played him at like 8 in the morning. Like, and we played him at 8 in the morning. And I just remember, like, we beat them. They had a good team, but we beat them. And I just remember cracking the joke at the free throw line. I just remember he was going for like his 27th and 28th point at the line or something.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, damn, I wonder what you would have done if you was woke. Like, it was 8. It's like the game. The tip was at like 8:15 or something. You know what I'm saying? We won. I was just like, man, I just wonder if you really was.
We played
Yeah,
at
but
noon. What would be? What
yeah,
would
we
be?
were like, how that would happen? Like, man, like he ain't right the cold out his eyes. But that probably was one of the most memorable ones. Senior year on the road, yeah, definitely. Because we played Michael Gilchrist. We played, yeah, we played everybody. Like I said, we weren't ducking nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's like we was coming to see you. We was definitely coming to see you. We definitely come to see
Facts.
you.
0809. Y'all win state.
Yeah,
Take
right.
us take us through that journey of that season. That moment when y'all won. Just the joy and relief y'all felt. Just take us through that journey through that 0809 season and being state champs.
We had it was real joy because, like I said, we lost some games that year. Most of our games losing was on the road though.
Okay.
It was Hawaii and all the other big tournaments, and we lost some games. So it was like we have to look in the mirror. Like, are we who we think we are? Are we who they say we are? Like, we was like preseason #1 and all that. So it's just like we went through it. You know what I'm saying? So once we won, oh man, stormed the court,
Yeah.
happy. Just our phones was going crazy, spending so much time with like our family, just getting the medals put on our neck, and Marcus Jordan carried us.
Tough.
Marcus carried us. Like people don't speak on like how good Marcus really was in high school. Like they try to compare him to his dad, but who the hell is good as his dad? You know what I'm saying? Nobody is. So
Facts.
Marcus carried us, man. Like that second half down the stretch, man, made some timely buckets. He was strong as hell, playing real defense and
Yeah.
rebounding, and you know what I'm saying. Marcus really carried us down the stretch and got us a ring. Like
Facts.
I
Who did
yeah,
y'all end up so who did y'all end up having to pick? Like who did y'all have to go through? Do you remember how the bracket went?
sophomore year. Oh, who did we be? Was it Waukegan?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
But Jeremy
yeah.
Richmond was gone.
I
He
think
was
yeah, I think sophomore year. I think it was. Man, we went downstate every year, so I'll be getting them mixed up. But like, no, I'm not even trying to pop
No,
no
talk
green.
your
But it's
talk.
like,
That's tough. That's
yeah,
tough.
like it was just really like
That's
we really
tough.
were in the last game every year. Like it was.
Thanks.
That's just how it was, you know. But yeah, it was having to go through. I just remember one time, like the most memorable moment. I remember the game before the state championship. Michael Jordan came in our locker room, and Michael Jordan has definitely a distinguished voice. You know who it is when you hear Michael Jordan. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was facing the other way. He was behind me,
Oh.
so big ass palm came on my shoulder while he was talking. You know what I'm saying? And so I look back, I'm like, that's really like Michael Jordan right here, like talking, like you know what I'm saying. He's talking to our whole locker room and everything, and people always ask like, man, what advice did Michael Jordan give y'all? I'm like, nothing crazy. Like nothing crazy. He literally told us, he said, relax. He said, go to y'all room, watch a good movie or a sitcom, get some food, and get some rest. He
Simple.
didn't say nothing about basketball. Like he just was like, you're here now. Yeah, if y'all don't understand what's at stake, it ain't nothing for me to tell y'all if y'all don't get it. Go
Yep.
home, get some rest, and come take care of business. And that's what it was. We came and took care of business. So
Man. That's
yeah, it came
dope.
and took care of business.
Not to people get to one play with his son as a teammate, and then for him to
Yeah.
come top it up with y'all and
Yeah, not yeah.
the
Like he came into the locker room. He came into the locker room high emotions. High emotions for us. He was
yeah.
cool as a fan, but high emotions for us. We just had one to get down, get to the state championship. Yeah, he just told us to relax, eat. You know what I'm saying, and watch a good movie, and come back and stand on business the next day.
For
Yeah,
sure.
that's all. That's all he told us, man.
For sure.
And you know what I'm saying. He's been in the gym a couple times, but he wasn't like a. He wasn't that. He definitely wasn't like an overbearing parent or like people. When we think of Michael Jordan, we think of one the goat, and then we think of just how competitive he is. Like,
Yep.
nah, he would come to the games and he had a security guard. I think his name was John Michaels. I think I just remember because his two first names. The older guy, gray hair, always had a trench coat. Who knows what was in that trench coat? We can only imagine. But
Right.
came to the came to our games and he had kind of sit off and that was it. Like he wasn't hounding the refs or he wasn't
He was just
yelling. He wasn't nothing. It was just just observing. Just
yeah.
observing every
Facts.
time. Just observing. Yeah.
Dope. KP, when did like the recruiting process really kind of come into play for you? You know what I mean? When the schools really started to reach out to you, when you really start to think about like, okay, cool, like they hollered at me, let me think about it, and then that whole
Yeah. You
process.
know what? Well, to be honest, it really depends. My recruiting was it was up and down, man. Because I didn't sign until after the season. I did the late signing period. I didn't sign until April 1st. I didn't sign to Bakersfield until April 1st. So this is after the season. I didn't really get my offers until like right after the season. I had a
Okay,
bunch of interests. You know what I'm saying? I had a bunch of interests. I took a bunch of visits. I was taking visits sophomore year.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I took I took Kentucky and Louisville in the same weekend, like sophomore year. But coaching staff changes and all that. And I remember on my visit, it was like Ray John Rondo was at Kentucky. Like he was still there working out. Like he came back. That was just. I remember they just had won. The Celtics just had won in '08 or
Okay.
'09, whatever that was, and he came back and he was working out and everything, and he was on my visit. Like you know what I'm saying? They really had me chopping it up with him and everything. Like I took Louisville. I think that's when like Taekwon Dean was there. I don't know if you remember Taekwon Dean. Taekwon Dean was super tough. Had like a little baby blue Benz out there and everything. He was kind of like hosting a visit and everything. But so those were like my first visits, like sophomore year. Um, but I took a bunch of visits though. I took NIU. I took Indiana State. I took oh man, I took a bunch of visits. Because you got your unofficials and you got your unofficials and you got your officials.
Yo.
But um, I took Northwestern. I honestly thought I was going to end up at Northwestern.
Mm.
Um,
How
my
that play
biggest
out?
one of my biggest heartbreaks to this day, man. They went with Sobolewski. They went with Dave Sobolewski. Like, that's really what that was. Like, I could give you a background story to that, but I don't want to complain too much. But they
Yeah.
ended up going with Sobolewski. Sobolewski had game too. I can't knock him. He was actually on my All Star team senior year, uh,
Okay.
going into college. But I just remember Coach Carmody at Northwestern telling me like I was because they made my visit because I went to the elite camp. I went to the camp, but they turned since I was on campus already. They just made it a visit while I was there. You know what I'm saying? So it was like so I'm
Okay.
gonna have to come twice.
Okay.
So I just remember Coach Carmody talking to me one time, like he pulling me out of my games. I mean, after the game, not pulling me out of the game, but after the game, he come grab me up. We go talking. We go talk in the bleachers, just me and him. And he flat out tell me, he was like, "I really like you. I really like you, but I don't know how to." Because when he watched me during the season at Whitney Young, I wasn't always on ball. I was on ball. I was off ball. I was on ball. I was off. He didn't know how to really like judge my game. Are you a point guard? Are you a combo? Are you a two? He
Yo.
told me flat out. I was like, I really didn't know. So it's like, so I really want to kind of watch you. This is the summer heading into senior year at this point.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
like I kind of want to follow you through the year and really learn how to, like what your game is like. He's like, I see that you play defense. I see that you can rebound and you know what I'm saying. You're athletic and fast and all that. And it's like you live in the paint. You can make the jump shot, but I don't know like because he didn't see it was only so much that you could really watch in the games because
Yeah.
we only playing half the game. You know,
Fact. Fact.
so and then at that point I had Derek Randolph. He was on the team. Obviously a great point guard, but he's 5'6", 5'7". It's like you're not going to put Derek on the wing. I could guard the bigger wings. I could guard the bigger point guards. I could, you know what I'm saying? He can too. Don't get me wrong, he a dog, but it's
Facts.
a more favorable matchup. I mean, you don't want to go put your
Somebody
5'7" guy on. You know what I'm saying? Like I could guard from your smaller point guards into your 6'5" wings. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like at the high school level for sure. So I was playing more a lot of off the ball. You know what I'm saying? I play on ball, play off the ball, and it was kind of hard to really judge my game at that point. Um, but I think that was probably one of my biggest. I hated that when I didn't get that because I thought I was going to end up going to. I thought I was going to end up going to Northwestern, but
yo.
I got the call from Rob Barnes, Cal State Bakersfield, and yeah, my family we went on a visit to my mom, to my dad, and
Love.
literally signed there. It was like it was kind of nothing to talk about. Like what he was telling me, how he saw me to what he saw me doing in the program and the upcoming year and everything. And it sounded good to me. And
Yeah.
I felt like I needed to get away from Chicago at that time.
Yeah.
Obviously, I already had realized that I wasn't getting to some of the schools that I thought, and that all the other schools that recruited me were far. Like um, Nevada, they ended
Oh.
up offering me late. Nevada offered me late. FAMU offered me late. Uh, Cal State offered me late. Every school that offered me late was just far. Like so, I already had realized like, okay, I'm not gonna be close. I didn't get UIC. Chicago State wouldn't recruit me for. They wasn't recruiting me for whatever reason. The ball wasn't on me. So the schools here, I took an NIU visit, but that didn't end up working out. So it's like I realized that I was going to be far.
Fact.
So I had to kind of grow up. Like my recruitment process was like challenging me. It was like, you know, I realized that I was going to be going to school far away.
Yeah.
And then I realized that it kind of like put a chip on my shoulder, like like our schools here, our Chicago schools, wasn't on me heavy. So I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm playing at the most syndicated school. We playing every big game. I know you see, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, they all kind of like talk to me, but it didn't go nowhere really. So
Yeah.
that kind of like made me it put a chip on my shoulder, like, what y'all don't, you know what I'm saying? What, you don't think I'm good enough? Like, you
Facts.
know what I'm saying, or whatever it was. And I always felt like I could hoop with anybody. I always felt that way.
Facts.
So it just kind of matured me to understand, like, what's for me is for me. You can have a million offers, but you can only go to one school. So
Facts.
Rob Lawrence took a chance on me. Went out to Cal State Bakersfield. Um, it was a rebuilding program. They actually was it was his first year there. We were coming in together. So
Yeah.
I was the only freshman recruit. I was the only freshman on the team.
Mm.
Every other recruit was either he kept like one or two players on the team from the previous year. He went and got a bunch of like JUCO guys, pretty much. Like they
Okay.
were JUCO, so they were about to be juniors.
About to be, yeah. Okay.
So some transfer. You know what I'm saying? So he did that. That's how that went. But yeah, my recruitment process, it definitely wasn't the best,
Yeah.
but I learned a lot. I learned a lot. Like I had a lot of interest. I had a lot of interest, but in the end, Bakersfield, they pulled the trigger. You know what I'm saying? A lot of schools tried to get me late because I was probably one of the best on the board, late for sure.
Yeah.
But
Available. Yeah.
yeah, so went out there, and Coach Barnes was tough. Coach Barnes was tough as hell. Like he was Coach Barnes was SEC coach and player of the year. Like he
Yeah.
was, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? He was the SEC coach of the year at, I think it was at Georgia or Southern Miss. I forget which one. I think it was, but then he was like, and he was a point guard too.
Yeah.
So a tough
Yeah.
point guard like that, coaching a point guard, coming in
He's,
and I'm 18, and he's like a Southern guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? They
yeah.
different. It's like it ain't no plan. It ain't no. It's you know. He
Everything
went.
about
He
to
yeah yeah. So Coach Barnes, he grew me up. He grew me up for sure. He
facts.
grew me up. I I look at Bakersfield as definitely like my introduction to like the real business of college sports. You know what
Facts.
I'm saying? Like understanding that some like we wasn't even in a conference. Like we were one of few teams that didn't have a conference. Like they have a conference now, they're in the WAC now, but when I came in, we didn't have a conference. So we scheduled like 30 games. Crazy, right?
Y'all were just picking random schools.
Right. It's not just random schools, but like I said, it was a real life business. Like you get paid to play school. So like let's just say like my first game ever, we played against Ahmad Starks at Oregon State. I know Oregon State probably gave Bakersfield the bag to come play. Like so
Yeah.
that's how it goes. Like when you schedule your out of conference games, like a lot of the times the bigger school pays the smaller school
Another school to come
to
out.
play. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that was. But yeah, so we weren't in the conference, we were independent. So we were independent. But they didn't really get a conference until like after I left. You know what I'm saying? Until after I
That's
left. So
I
that
know.
was, yeah. So we would go. It was just we'll play Cal State Northridge, or we'll go play Colorado, or
Yeah.
we'll go come back and we'll play Oregon State. We'll go
Oh, so
play
y'all
Oregon. We'll play Sacramento State. We'll play like we'll
yeah,
just play whatever. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like because that's how it was. We weren't in a conference.
right.
And me coming in, my understanding of college basketball growing up was I knew, Big Ten, like I thought of schools as conferences. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking like, what is this? Like how, I didn't grasp it
So
until I was there. Like I was literally like damn near in season by the time I was grasp what's going on. I was just, but I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from the like how to work. I really learned how to work. I thought I was working hard in college, and for the level that I mean in high school, I thought I was working hard in high school, but for that level, I was. But when I got to college, it was like a
yeah,
whole nother level. Like
the
you
ball
could
game.
be 18. I remember I came in, I was 18. I'm 6 feet 6'1", 170 pounds. Like We got 5th-year seniors that's strong. Like they've been in college.
Yeah.
They really lifting. Like you got to play through that contact. So them little playing through contact that I was doing in high school, no, it's different.
Yeah.
Cause now that wing that's hedging, and then you got that switch, and I'm going at you. Now he's 6'7" on the sliders puppies, and he 225. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and he got it. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
different playing at the Division One level. You know, and then you know what I'm saying. And then even when you, it's never really about like beating your initial man. If you're good enough, you can beat your initial man.
Facts.
It's the help. It's the help. You know what I'm saying? You got a footer there. You got a footer in the back that's got a 40. You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
you got to learn, really work on your finishes. It's not just one little baby finishes. You got to really work on your floater, or you're gonna have to punch it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Whatever it is, but it's like,
No
man,
counters. No counters,
yeah,
basically.
real counters, real counters. It's like all the workouts was your second move and sometimes your third. But if you got to do a third move, you probably need to pass the ball. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody coming to watch you, Otis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody coming to see you, Otis. Like, move that ball, set a screen, and go get it back, or you
Facts.
don't get it back, whatever it is, you know. But ain't nobody coming to see you do all the moves. So if you got to do all that, move it, move the
Facts.
ball, move yourself. You know, that's
Okay,
how it was.
I kind of want to go backwards a little bit. I read that you played AAU for Mean Streets, man. Take us through them AAU days playing for Mean Streets, man.
So AAU was, I loved AAU. So this how it went. Quick little story with that. So with AAU, we were, I think the previous year I played for D Rose. That was the first year D Rose had a team.
Okay.
So who players, I ain't even gonna go through their list. We were all nice, you know what I'm saying? But what happened was um my dad and George, they were coaches of the team. So we always had our own program. So when we played for like D Rose and we played for Mean Streets, it was just they were coming. We already had a team. I wasn't. It wasn't like how it is today, like where it's the Mean Streets and they already got theirs. They came and just gave us like sponsorship pretty much at that time. But
Okay.
it was smooth though, bro. It was I loved my AU experience. I got to see a lot. Um, I got to play against a lot of good players. I got to measure myself every weekend to see like, all right, I need to work on this. Like, you
Mhm.
know, I need to work on my pull up, or I need to get some range on my jump shot, or I need to really work on, you know what I'm saying, on ball defense. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you'll run against guys from New York and all that. You know, they play with the ball a lot. You know, they get embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like my time with Mean Streets and just AAUs is always competitive. That's the first word that comes to mind is competitive, competitive, competitive. Like
Always
that's
playing.
how it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I had a lot of good Mean Streets. I played, like I said, I played with D Rose, Chicago Express. You know, at that time, this is before like it was EYBL and all that. Like I think we
Hmm.
did that like the last years. Like that's when that really came. Like when I was like 2011. But um, it was I played for Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? It was like just moving around. You know, that's how it was. That's just how the landscape was in AAU back then. So I always definitely played competitive basketball. And you could either I look at AAU as this, you can either get exposure or you can get exposed.
Facts.
And I never wanted to be on that get exposed side. You know
Facts.
what I'm saying? So that's how. But it was definitely always competitive. I love the AAU for sure.
For sure.
Definitely.
Take us through, you know what I mean? You don't have to get too personal with this question, but like I like to ask people because you know, as us we looking on the outside looking in, we don't really know like the adversity that you guys went through. What was like kind of like adversity or kind of something you had to go through in your career, like hooping wise, you know, that kind of made you who you are now.
Confidence. Like, cause you tell players now, especially as a coach, and just even if you're not coaching them, just young kids that you run into, you tell them always stay confident. But
Hmm.
I think now looking back, I understand why it was probably hard for Coach Ty and Coach Chin to distribute the minutes because everyone was good. You know what I'm saying? And but at the same time, it was like I didn't understand that while it was happening.
Hmm.
I'm like, I'm not questioning the coach, but in my head, I'm questioning him. I'm like, why the hell am I coming out? Or why am I
Yeah,
not playing this much? Or why is that? Why is this? And so I had to. That's what I had to overcome. Like really thinking like, should I be here or should I leave to go somewhere and be the man and be my ball? You know what I'm saying? Um, and you have that throughout college. Like I did that. I felt that way definitely at Whitney Young a couple times. Um, just being candid and honest about it. I
yeah,
love Whitney Young. I'm glad I went there, and I'm glad I went through everything I went through to make me who I am. But
yeah,
at like my 16, 17, 18-year-old self, you know what I'm saying? You question that,
yeah.
especially when it gets to the point when you know you're good. You know what
Facts.
I'm saying? You know
Especially
you're
at
a
that
Division
point,
One
you
talent.
know the next level is right there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like people speak on like kids always talk about I want to go D1, I want to go like it's a difference between like aspiring to go Division 1 and you know you're a Division 1 player. So knowing you're a Division 1 player and you're seeing so many other players get all these individual accolades and I'm sacrificing that for team success, you have to I have to mature. I
Yeah,
have to mature to really grasp that because it sounds good on paper until you only play half the game versus whoever your said rival is until you send me on or you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I want to, you want to stay on the court. That's how
Facts.
it was. So I think that was definitely my biggest obstacle was like having to like
Be confident in yourself. Yeah,
yeah, like stay confident and understand that it was bigger than me.
facts.
Because what I had to understand was like if you win, you get seen regardless. So my job was to when I got on that court, I played as hard as I can. I did what I could do and exhaust like play as hard because you ain't playing the whole game.
Yeah,
So there's no reason for you to get out there lollygagging. There's no reason for you to get out there and not give it. There ain't no
facts.
saving, no saving, no energy. You know what I'm saying? You'll come out even quicker for that. So
Facts.
yeah, but that's probably the hardest thing I had to go through, understanding that you could go somewhere and be an all world this and all world that, but instead of just having to blend in with other 12 Division 1 talents.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
So that was definitely my biggest obstacle.
Okay, bet. Coming down to my last few ones for you, bro. Knowing what you know now, if you can give your 14-year-old self, some advice that you know now, what would be that advice that you would give yourself?
Keep the main thing the main thing. Like sacrifice. You have to truly understand that. That can't be a word. That can't be something that just sounds good. You have to truly understand that. Like you're not going to be at every party.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be at every party. I don't. The drugs. But that's definitely don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, be around people who understand your mission.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not gonna reinvent the wheel with their advice, but that's definitely what I would have told myself. Like keep the main thing the main thing. Like basketball and your academics, like trumps everything. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously high school, you date, you have little girlfriends and all that, but that shit don't mean nothing. Like
Facts.
until you know what I'm saying? Like chances are you wouldn't finna marry her. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? And you don't understand at that time. Like, I understand there's some high school sweethearts that went on and did that, but that's the 1% of motherfuckers. Sorry
Facts.
for cursing.
No, you good.
Um,
You good. You good.
but
Talk.
but yeah, but that was just really understanding like really stay locked in to that. Don't have the FOMO, the fear of missing out on this and fear of missing out on that, and like and embrace being coached hard. If someone's not coaching hard, if they don't think they can coach you hard, probably ain't good because they either don't believe that they're like that you could be coached hard, and if you can't take tough, criticism and of your game, is you ain't
Facts.
going nowhere. If no one
Facts.
can tell you nothing, you're not going anywhere worth going. So
Especially when you get to
definitely,
the next level. Like them
yeah,
coaches, man, they replace you so quick, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I
yeah,
think what bothers me with these kids now is like you can be the most tallest dude, athletic dude, but it's always another you. You know what I mean? It's always another
yeah.
player that's you or even better than you. You know what I mean? So these coaches ain't got time to be trying to argue with you and you know what I mean?
They're
Deal with
not. They're not arguing with you. And
facts,
like maybe if you're, lottery pick, then that's another 1%. So less than 1%.
facts,
So ain't nobody arguing with you. What can you tell this man that makes $500,000 or $1 million a year already. And at this time, this is way before NIL. We are as broke as you could possibly be. You just another kid from whatever city you're from talking
Fact.
to this millionaire coach who coached a million guys of you in NBA. What can you possibly tell him? Like you
No,
can't tell him or her anything. Like nothing. You can't. You can only listen and be grateful that they're coaching you. To be honest, like
you opportunity.
you gotta humble yourself. Like that's what this came to, man. Humbling yourself and really realizing that you gotta learn and you gotta just sit down and listen because you ain't telling nobody nothing. That's really
Fact.
what it was. Yeah.
My last two questions for you, bro. Transitioning into coaching, what has been the biggest adjustment that you had to learn? You know, from not looking at it as a player standpoint, but being a coach now. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I feel like it's hard to like parents and stuff like that when they try to coach their kids. I feel like some people try to live they dream through certain kids, or they try to live they dreams through their son or their daughter or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's a
How
real
do you,
thing.
how do
But
you adjust to that?
I think the biggest thing for me is realizing like basketball is like the third thing that you're coaching. Like they're hiring you. Obviously, your job is a basketball coach. You try to keep the main thing. But junior college in Chicago, like the kids that we had, like from the trenches, like real life, real issues. Like I'm not talking about little stuff that we just like, not
Yeah,
little distractions. I'm talking
yeah,
about real issues. Like I just left one of my players' funeral 3 weeks ago. Like after the season, I loved Nick. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Nick. And he got good people. And like you know what I'm saying, going through that, like he passed away. I had guys missing games because like they were in jail. Like literally had to like getting their cribs raided, not because of what they're doing, is because of people that they have associations with or uncles or people
yeah,
that just had access to their house. So they come
yeah.
feds raid everybody. Like I had a like it was like last chance you without the cameras.
Facts.
Last chance you without the cameras. Like that's just what it was. Like so having to really make sure your kids are good off the court to make sure that like did they eat? Did they
Mm,
have any money to eat today? Like you know how
hmm.
many times I was coming out of my pocket just to make sure the guys eat. I don't mind it at all. I'm gonna do it because they're my guys. It's like family. But basketball was like the third or fourth thing we were coaching, man. So you had to get through their academics because some of them didn't really have strong academic standings. You know what I'm saying? So I have to focus on that, or they didn't really know how to multitask and basketball. So by the time we got to the court to really get to X's and O's and working hard, it was like, man, you didn't coach three different things already. I didn't just bailed you out of jail. I didn't just and they
Yep.
don't got nothing to do with him. Is just the situation that he was in.
His environment. Yeah.
Yeah, the stuff like that, man. There was so many different things and guys. They want to go to the play at this level and play at that level, and I played at that level, but you don't want to listen to me, or you don't want to. It's man, coaching is tough, man, because it's not just basketball. You have to coach. It's
Life. It's life.
personalities. Yeah, it's life and it's personalities and people who are entitled for whatever reason. I have no idea why you're entitled, but that's beyond the point. I wasn't even gonna. If
Facts.
it got to the point, like you know what I'm saying, like if you think that you deserve this and you deserve that, and looking at your work ethic and it doesn't correlate, like I can't even because you delulu, you in the whole you delusional, like yeah. So I can't. But that was the biggest thing about basketball this year is realizing that
It's deeper than
kids
that.
got lives. You know what I'm saying? Like we're looking at them as like you know what I'm saying, 18 or 20, 22-year-old kids, whatever the case may be, but they got lives and they really go through stuff and it's real and it's not. They had real issues and to get them all on one page when they got so much going on outside of basketball to focus on basketball. It's like it takes a different kind of bond you have to have with your guys. But
Facts.
that was another part. Is like I learned from them. They learned from me, and I learned from them. To, what I'm saying, just really be grateful and take my knowledge and take my experience and resources and give it to you guys because that's why I'm here
That's
essentially.
dope. That's dope. That's dope. All right, so my last one for you, KP, is probably my favorite questions, especially from Chicago guys. I'm kind of gonna put you on the spot, man.
Okay.
If I was to ask you, KP, I need your top five all time from the city, 1 through 5. This how we gonna end it. I'm gonna end it putting you on the spot.
Ah,
So
top five,
your
top
personal
five ever from the city. I'm gonna go D Rose.
okay. D Rose one. Okay.
I'm gonna go D Rose, Isaiah Thomas.
1, 2. Okay.
Let me ask you one question first, because I want to get like, look, is this their high school careers or just top five from the city? What they went on to go do?
Everything in one.
I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna go. Anthony Davis,
Okay.
Derrick Rose, Isaiah Thomas.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Ooh,
So you got your four
uh,
and your five.
uh, I may just have to put some more guards in. Um, God, there's so many of us,
Oh,
man.
oh.
D Rose, Isaiah Thomas, Anthony Davis, um, D Wade. I'm gonna go D Wade, and then for my fifth, I probably go. Mm, Damn, this is so tough. My fifth, I probably go. Mm, I can't. This is too tough. This is honestly too tough. I
Let
don't
me
want
see.
to
You
give
got a
up.
lot, man. You got Twan. You got Twan Walker.
Oh, I know that he came to
You got,
mind. He was at the tip of my tongue. I want to
man,
say Twan,
you can go Michael Finley. You can
and
go.
that's really who I wanted to go with. I just had a conversation about Michael Finley and everything he did proviso and going
Yeah,
on the average 20 in the league. But
yeah.
oh man, I'm probably just give me Tim Hardaway. I'm gonna go Tim Hardaway.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
I'm
That's a
gonna go
good.
Tim Hardaway. He
Yeah.
got his own crossover. I was
Right.
just gonna go Tim
I
Hardaway.
don't
I
blame you.
understand that it was a million guys that could get that spot,
Right.
but and I was thinking about Twan probably. But I'm gonna go Tim Hardaway just off the fact that he
Guard the
really brought
guard.
excitement to, you know what I'm saying? Like he made us really want to handle the basketball. Like when you say work on the Tim Hardaway, you know exactly what you're talking about. The between the
Right.
legs cross.
Thanks.
Um, but a lot of guys could have been in this, man. So it's no
Oh,
slight
oh,
to all the greats who's
oh,
gonna be in this, but
yeah.
that's what I'm gonna go with. Yeah,
So,
that's what I'm gonna go with.
so, man, KP Pro, I appreciate you, Brody. You know what I mean? I'm glad we finally got this, out the way. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Best of luck to you coaching, everything you got going on. Um, Best wishes to you and the family, Brody, man. We'll chop it up, man. We'll chop it up.
for sure, definitely. Thank you for having me, man. Love having that conversation with you. Long time coming, for sure.
So for sure. All right, Brody. I'm gonna holler at you. Love, Brody.
For sure. All right, get it with you.